Congressman Henry Cuellar. He represents the areas in and around the border town of Laredo, Texas. He also just launched, by the way, the Democrats for Border Security Task Force, and is a frequent guest here on the show. Congressman, thanks for being back with us here on the Hill. This is a big win for the state of Texas, at least the Republican lawmakers and the Republican governor who wanted SB 4. Now that this is allowed to happen, can you explain, in your view, or maybe you don't think this way, I don't know, how this is going to create chaos, as the White House puts it?
Well, first of all, I disagree with the Supreme Court that a state has the right to enforce immigration laws. Look, I know when we looked at the Arizona case 10, 12 years ago, the Supreme Court said it doesn't matter how frustrated a state is, when we talk about immigration reform or immigration enforcement, it belongs to the state, to the federal government. So one of the things that we know, this is only temporary. We don't know what happens after the Fifth Circuit rules on it and it comes back to the Supreme Court. But I certainly feel that, there's a lot of questions. If you arrest somebody in Texas, do you just put them in the middle of the bridge, even they might be from some other country? Or do you have the power to put them in an airplane and send them back to their countries? Those mechanisms are not there on it. Right. You can arrest, but then what happens after that?
So let me ask you, as you point out rightfully, Congressman, this is at least temporary. This still could go through the legal process, potentially making its way back to the Supreme Court for an actual case and an actual ruling. But in this state of it being temporary, should President Biden now take some sort of executive actions, or you think he's still fine staying on the sidelines as it relates to executive actions?
Well, look, I'll say what I've been saying for the last 3 years. I mean, I think it doesn't matter if it's Biden or any other president. There's a lot of things that a president can do. For example, if you remember, in December, we're getting 10 to 12,000 people a day. Now it's been cut in half. Did we build new walls? Did we add new border patrol? No. What happened? We got Mexico to do a lot more, and the numbers are being cut. So there's a lot of things that a president can do. But at the end of the day, it still needs funding from Congress. And probably we need to change some of the asylum laws in a way that we can balance it.
So you bring up funding. As you know, Congressman, there was this funding deal that has been negotiated by the White House and Congress. Alejandro Mayorkas, the DHS secretary here in Washington today, said this. He said that deal is, quote, no cause for celebration. He went on to say, we are terribly, terribly underfunded. That is the head of DHS. So is Mayorkas wrong? Or, Congressman, did the White House and Congress fail DHS with this deal? It's got to be one or the other, right?
Yeah, I mean, Congress should have put in more money. Look, I sit as the ranking member for Homeland Approach. The money's not there.
So is it a failure of the White House?
No, I think it's something that Congress should be putting the money in it. We're the ones that's supposed to be appropriating the monies, and we got given a certain amount of monies to deal with Homeland. It's just not enough, and that's why the supplemental part of the Senate border deal was so important, to add extra monies in Homeland, so we can keep up with Homeland operations, but it's not enough. I can tell you that.
Okay. Congressman, I'm sure we'll talk to you again soon. Congressman Henry Cuellar, Democrat from Texas, represents the Laredo area. Always appreciate your time, Congressman. Thank you for watching. And make sure you go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.